Good morning, this is Mike Palmer from Mike Palmer Homes. Wanted to make another video log and show a floor system we're building up on a mountaintop. We're about to drop our first floor wall system. Anyway, I just wanted to illustrate the different concepts we're doing here. This obviously is going to be our garage. It's going to be a 2-car garage. We like to put gravel in here in the beginning so that it settles and does all it's going to do. I don't like to pour the slab this early in the process because it gets beat up during construction. But this way the workers have a nice surface to work on. The rock can compact and vibrate and settle during the construction process, so we have a real good base to pour our slab. We do that after all the sheetrock's up and the paint's up so that your garage slab stays as pristine as possible when we deliver it to you. Anyway, this is going to be our utility door, our walk door out of our garage. You see the 4 inches, our concrete slab's going to come right up to here. And you're going to have a door coming. This is what we call a 2x10 floor system. We have double band all the way around. There's 2 2x10s. These are girders. This connection system is called bond timber. You can either do that or a joist hanger. They're both acceptable methods of floor framing. But this floor system must be inspected by the county inspector so to make sure there's not any issues with it. And if there are any issues that the inspector wants done, we can fix them now. So we don't once we have a house built on top of this, it's a lot more difficult. But you see the floor system of the house. Right inside the crawl space, you can see we put what we call rock dust. It's just gravel fines or like a sand that comes from the rock quarry. Unfortunately, being fall time, we have a lot of leaves in there that we're going to have to clean out. But anyway, that's the way it works. A couple things to point out. This is our subfloor. This is tongue and groove subfloor. It is the Blue Plus, which is got more epoxy. It's water resistant to minimize swelling when it gets weathered during construction. Anyway, this is called Sill Seal, the styrofoam product. This goes down underneath your shoe plate. A couple of things. It helps provide more insulation, helps keep bugs from crawling in that space, and it also is one more layer between the wood and the masonry. And this is a pressure treated lumber, so it's rot resistant, but this just gives it one more layer of protection up against the masonry, because masonry always has a moisture content because it absorbs moisture. Anyway, let me point out a couple more features here. See, we're going to have a nice view of the mountains here. We may be taking down a few more trees. We don't want to take them down too early because you can't put them back up. But when we do our septic, once we can see what our view is going to be, we may take down a few more trees. But you're going to have a beautiful view of Lake Norman and being able to see the whole valley below here. Anyway, we put straw around the foundation to try to minimize the amount of mud that gets on the brick. It's really difficult to get this red mud off the brick. That's why we do that. We can never keep it all off of there, but it does a pretty good job controlling it. Well, you see our foundation, it steps down here. We step it down on these sloped lots so that you don't have to frame, so you don't have to build a masonry wall very high. Masonry gets less stable the higher it gets. So we just step that down framing. It also keeps the cost down. And it's going to be a 2-story, so we have to use 2x6 framing on this portion. Comes down here. In the back, we step it down one more time over here on these octagon shaped areas. And see the back of the foundation does get very steep. Drops off very quickly down here. Bottom foundation, we're waterproof, and we have a foundation drain. Water should not get in your foundation, but if it does, it has some place to go. If you get a water heater burst or whatever, or if somebody grades something wrong in the future and you end up getting water in there, it does have a place to come out. This is your French drain, so that if water gets up against the foundation, it has a drainage system where it can get out. This here, we're going to put a utility door here because we have a very high crawl space in here, and we want to be able to, the customer wants to be able to store lawnmowers, whatever, and utilize the space down here. This center plate's going to be cut out, and we're going to put a double door in here. And this is a view from inside the crawl space. We will be putting a vapor barrier here. Those sideways block there for foundation vents, so you get ventilation in here. This is a high crawl. High crawls work very well for controlling condensation. We don't seem to get as much of it in high crawl as you do in the lower crawl spaces. Anyway, Said the leaves will be taken out. We got rock dust in here, and we were going to be putting a polyethylene vapor barrier in here. Anyway, these beams going across here are called girders. All these floor joists come and they sit on the girder. We put blocking in there that helps prevent twisting. And these cinder block columns are called piers, and they're what holds up the girders. They're roughly every 6 feet apart, and you see those throughout. And that's basically it for today. All this will get plywood on there. This is all temporary bracing. Once we sheathe, put plywood on the sides here and build our walls, this will all be braced up. And on the front, we didn't put our brick fascia on the front. We're going to running brick all the way up. But the way they're going to do these brick is they're going to put the mortar, and the mortar is just going to kind of squeeze out. And it's going to have that gingerbread effect on the mortar. It's going to be an interesting look, but if we were to do that on this part of the foundation at this stage, it would just get beat up and destroyed during the framing process. So we're going to wait till it's framed and the windows are all up and it all passes inspection before we do that across the front. Anyway, this front porch, this area is not filled in because that's where our steps are going to be. That's where our concrete footing is to place our steps on. Once we build the steps, we're going to grade this back up, so we need minimal railing. We put our gravel in the porch already. That just saves a step, makes it a lot easier, and it also makes it a lot safer for the workmen to work on there. Anyway, that's a description of our foundation. We'll be making more videos of this house as it progresses. This is a really exciting project because it is a very unique property up here on the mountaintop. Oh, just a couple more things. You can see that ridge here. To minimize the slope, we did cut this area down. We were able to do that so that they don't have a real high garage entrance from the garage into the house, and to save on the gravel bill. Anyway, like I said, that's our floor system. It's going to be exciting to watch this house take shape. Anyway, if you have any questions, please contact us at the number below, and thank you for visiting our site.